right, what you'll need, each person will need half of a 2x6x10. Now when you measure these 2x6x10s, or a lot of different lumber right here, it measures 10 feet 1/2 inch. So if you've got a full piece, I want you to cut it directly in half. And when I cut it directly in half, I'm going to go ahead and measure 5 feet 1/4 inch. Okay? Take these glasses off, put on my cheaters here a second. 5 feet 1/4 inch. Now, since that 5 feet 1/4 inch is right there, you can make a mark at 5 feet 1/4 inch, or you can go 1/8 over. Okay, in fact, I might do that. I might put 5 feet 1/4 inch would be directly half. So what I'm gonna do is I made a mark at 5 feet 1/4 inch. I'm gonna put the saw blade right in the middle of the mark. Okay, so I'm gonna be taking a 1/16 off of both sides. All right, not super critical, but we do need to be about half speed square. We need to be about half so that I can get two of them out of there. All right. I'm going to bring it over here to the saw.
Smooth.
You got glasses again. Okay, up tight against the fence. And I've got that cut in half. I can give half to my buddy. All right, and I'm ready to go there. Okay. When I get done cutting that, I am 5 feet 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'm 5 feet 1/8 of an inch. I want each horse to be 30 inches long. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to measure 30 inches with a little star here like that. Put my speed square down. Make a mark. And then just from the other end, so I don't have to hold this perfectly here, I'll clip it there. I'll go 30 inches here. And the amazing thing is I've got 1/8 of an inch right there, which is exactly my saw blade cut. So I'll make a mark right here. So there's my saw blade width right there. Cut it. All right, ready to roll.
Go for it.
Okay, now, since I've got those two marks made, I'm ready to just cut that thing in half, and I'll have both my saw horses ready to roll, okay? All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut the bevel in the side. And the bevel on the side the line, or the shape that we'll have on the end grain will be a trapezoid, okay? And this angle, no matter what angle you're working with on your sawhorse, 15 degrees is the only angle that you're working with. So we have to set our saw blade to 15 degrees. On the side, I've got a hand wheel. And that hand wheel will turn the blade to where it is 15 degrees. Okay, so I'm 15 degrees right here. I got to make sure my saw blade clears, and it looks like it clears, okay? The next thing I need to do is make sure I'm cutting from the corner. So I just eyeball this. I want the top of the blade to come in right here, all right? So I'm going to eyeball that. Notice where I'm adjusting my fence. I'm not adjusting it here, I'm adjusting it right here. Okay, because it adjusts way easier that way. I need to have somebody tail it off for me. Grab some glasses.
We need a receiver.
Thank you, Pete. All right, we're going to tail this thing off. Side, I've got to make sure I'm going to be in the right configuration. That's not going to work. That'll be a parallelogram. Okay, so I've got to go like this. Okay, and that would be it right there. I'm going to double check and make sure my angle's right. Looks like I might need to slide in just slightly because this leading edge goes into this groove here. So I'm slightly moving that over here just like that. Okay. get all done, I've got a parallelogram right there. It's not my pen marks, okay, but I got a parallelogram, or
Trapezoid.
trapezoid right here. Okay. All right.
There you go.
All right. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. To get the length of the legs, I'm going to measure from long to, this will be the short end, and we're 27 1/4. I don't really care too much how long they are. We just simply need to make sure for your set they're exactly the same. Okay. For the set they are exactly the same. Okay. So I'm going to make them maybe 27 to 28 inches, whatever you want to. Just make sure it's the same. All right. To adjust the miter, I press down on this button. I press down on this button here so I can move it, and it will snap in at 15 degrees. I got to put that lever down to lock it in. To adjust the bevel, I loosen this lever right here, and I can. It should snap in to 0. And then it doesn't snap in at 15 degrees, but I can move it to 15 degrees, use this locking lever for right now to lock that in. So I'm at 15 degrees and at 15 degrees. Okay? Okay, we're going to go 28 inches from long to short, which will make the overall probably probably won't be quite 30 inches, but I want to be something under 30 inches, okay? So now Nick's got that thing hooked up over the long part. I'm going to mark it 28 inches, okay? So I've got a mark right here. Next thing I'm going to do is use a speed square. I'm going to get this shoulder up here tight up against the wood, and then when I turn it at 15 degrees right here, this then becomes 15 degrees right there, okay? All right, so this is my 15 degree angle right there. So I'm going to set my saw blade just so it sits here like this. All right. I'm going to double check that and make sure I'm under my 30 inches. All right, just for the use of the wood right here. 30 inches is right here. Okay, thank you, Nick. And then if I bring that straight across, I've got room right there. So I've got that much room right there. So I could make it taller probably if I want to, but I think 28 inches will work out really good. Okay, got that? Mm-hmm. All right. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this down here. You guys adjust that. Okay, loosen that. Yeah, Pete. Other way. There you go. Okay, we've got to talk about that too. Bring it. Start it up. All right, start it back. Are you running?
Yeah, I've been
running.
All right,
here we go. We're going to adjust this thing up here to where it's tight against there. Now tighten that down, Pete. Thanks, sir. All right, so all we got to do is slide that up there. I'm going to make 6 legs out of this long piece, okay? And I'll still have a little bit left over, all right? The big deal is trying to make all these legs consistent, okay? So I'm ready to roll. One leg. Okay, slide her up onto the stop. Don't slam it hard. Just get it nice and firm, okay? Two, we'll cut one more. And before we shut the film off.
Cut 2 more.
It might be best to let the motor come to a stop and then raise it up so it doesn't catch and want to flip up. Okay, shut her off.
Make one more so we have
from the leg section then, I'm going to have a little bit of, I'm going to have extra. And so I'm going to use that for the apron out in front. So I still have my saw set here at 15 degrees. I've got to lower it here a little bit. Then I'm going to readjust here to where this saw blade just comes through the top. I need a 15 degrees on the top side, okay? So I'll lock that in. Nick, if you can. So what I do is I lay this thing down here with a wide side up, get my leg so it's flaring out, and I know that that's correct. My apron, I want to have this 15 degree fit right here, and so if that's the case, I need to have my narrow end on the top, my narrow end at the top So I need to make first of all, I need to make a cut at that angle like that, at 15 degrees. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do next. 15-degree cut right here. I've got here just like that, and so it ends up being just like that. Okay, so then my next cut is I need to make a cut right here, and we're going to make that 3 inches from here to here on the long side. Okay, so cut it.